Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining again to Access Control Pre-Sale Certified session. All right, so we have some good attendees today, and let's get started. This is a short session, but however, every slide is an important slide. We cannot really skip. So feel free to have any questions. You can just ask in the chat window, Q&A window, or after the training. Just feel free to ask any questions anytime. I'm going to go directly with the features of access control and then the design of the access control for your project. First, we will touch the main features that is commonly used in projects. Even if it is not used, it will be either asked in the specification document because the specification document is generally designed based on some brand of access control. So all these features will be there. So it will be listed in the specification document. You have to comply to that before you supply a product. Okay. And on the good side, we have almost every feature that we can expect from a typical access control system. And that will be hopefully useful for you today. So we will start with the first feature that generally uh, asked in the spec but may not be used in real time, but it is there. We call it the dual role or role based access control. Now, for your information, the words dual authorization maybe we won't be using the same word, we will call it role based access. So in a company, let's say my role technical training, then there is another person, maybe his role is the managing director. So let's say there is certain area in the office which is only to be accessed by two people at the same time. No, one person cannot access at the same time. Two people should be there. Two people should swipe the card. Only then the door will open. Okay, so if you need such option, it is available. It's called dual authorization. First, the manager will swipe, and then I will swipe, and then we can open that door. So it is, if you require, you can create that option called role-based access, and you can enforce sequence, which means you can say who must swipe first and then who should swipe second. So first the managing director, then the staff. So two people should swipe. Typically used in banks for opening safe or high value items, safety lockers, and so on. Okay, next is user group. This is a very common thing that you will need in access control. You can group doors. You can create as many group as you want. Okay, let's say you have uh, in your office there are main doors which everyone can access. Then there is another door for the finance team, only they can access. Then there is a pantry which everyone can access. Then you have maybe meeting rooms, only the some people can access. So same way, you can create groups of door. Group 1, all the doors, all the entrance doors, plus the pantry door. Group 2, only the finance department door. Group 3, all the meeting rooms or VIP offices. So like that, you can create multiple group of doors, and you can assign these groups to a person. So let's say I joined the company. I'm Samuel. I have access to the entrance doors and all the meeting room doors. So I will have access to group 1 and group 3. Okay, so like that you can assign multiple groups of doors to one single card holder or a person. Okay, but for a person at a time he can be given 7 groups. Okay, and each group can have as many doors as you want. You can have one group for all doors, and then you can have multiple other groups for group set of doors. Okay, next, reader tamper detection. Reader tamper detection. What is reader tamper detection? If the reader and the board there is a disconnection, then that is reader tamper detection. Wire is disconnected or some kind of disconnection that happens, you can trigger an alarm. Simple. Okay. Next is door interlocking. Interlocking means when the person enters through the first door, that first door has to be locked before opening the second door. So that is interlocking. That feature is there. Next is fire mustering report, which is simply if you receive a fire alarm input, you can open all the doors and you can print a report of how many people are still in the property. Okay, all these are built-in features. No need to pay any extra licenses to achieve this feature. Next, LDAP integration. What is LDAP? LDAP simply is integration to your existing HR database. If the existing HR database uses a protocol called LDAP, you can download the person's first name, last name. You don't have to write and manually enter them. Okay, so this is LDAP integration. SMTP integration, it means email integration. You can send an email if you receive an access control event. Okay. Lift access control. There are two ways to open the lift. One, if you swipe a card, lift will open for you and you can go to any floor. That means it's like a door. You swipe the card, a lift will allow you to go to any floor. Then there is a second method. You go inside the lift, you swipe a card, then you get to access only the floor you are assigned. Maybe you can access only the 20th floor. You cannot go to 18 or 19th floor, like a hotel. So that if you want that level of detail, it is possible to do in our access control software. You can create a lift. Every floor you can assign a relay, and then based on your user rights, only those relays will open. So if I have access to lift 1 and 2, and I have access to only the 20th floor, that means whenever I go to lift 1, I swipe, I get only the 20th floor will be allowed to click, to press. The other floors, even if I press, it will not open. Got it? So we have relay boards called output boards for every floor. You can assign one relay contact. So this is option. You can create lift group. So just like you have, let's say, I'm the staff, and there is four lifts in the company. One lift or all the four lifts they can assign to me, but only the 20th floor. Okay, so you can also assign lift for the person. Work hour report, simply it work hour means based on your in and out time, you can print the duration, first in last out. The difference you can print as a total working time. Anti pass back. Anti pass back means when a person is entering using his card to enter the door, and that is fine. Okay, let me read this out for you. When an unauthorized user uses the same card by an authorized user to enter the door, which was not used to leave again. Okay, so let me explain this. Let's say I enter the office in the morning using my card. Done. Now I'm still in the office and I've given my card to someone else and he's trying to enter. The access control will not allow him to enter because according to the software, I'm still inside. I did not leave the office. According to the software, I did not swipe my card and I did not register that I have left the office. So anti-passback means only one person can use the card to enter, and if someone is trying to reuse the same card, he cannot enter. Okay, so let's say if you go in your gate barrier in the office, some offices have turnstiles. If it is not working, you give your card to your guest or your friend, and he will also enter, right? That cannot happen. You have to exit, and then only the next person can enter. Of course, you can bypass all this, but the feature is such that the person when he enters, he has to swipe the card, and when he leaves, he has to swipe the card again. Only then he can come back and use it to enter. Okay, if he forgot to swipe before leaving, next time or next day when he comes back, the door will not open. Guard tour means you can create guard tour points in your project. You can say there are four entrances. Every entrance you will put a reader, and you will tell the guard you have to go and swipe your card at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. in the night and to check whether everything is clear. So the guard has to physically go and swipe his card in the reader, which is in near each gate. Okay, so it's like a tour. He has to take a tour at that specific time. So you can create the sequence in the software and just give the card to the person, guard person, and he will swipe to, and that makes sure that he was physically there, because in order to swipe the card you have to be physically present in that location. Next is visitor management. We have a built-in visitor management application. No need to pay license, built-in feature. You can register visitor cards and issue it to the guest when they are arriving in your facility. You can issue the card in their name, and you can get their details. You can take a photo, you can put their ID, you can put their purpose of visit, who is the host, and issue the card. When they leave, you have to check them out. Okay, you can have mapping option within the access control also. Then creating user, you can create a user based on these ID, employee ID. The first name is important. You can also create one access control software you can have for multiple company, which means under the same company, I mean, for, let's say the building, in the entire building, there are many companies working, but you have only one access control software. So you can create card holders and you can assign company to them. So you know which company they are working for. You can also assign a department under that company. So you know which department they are working under. Then for the same person, you can issue card number, which means basically you can issue the card to him. You can issue multiple cards. You don't have to worry about this. You can issue one long range card, you can issue a pin code, you can issue a normal card, you can issue multiple cards for one person. If required, you can do that. You can put the valid date, expiry date, you can put extended access. Extended access means this person has permission to open the door for a long time. Okay, before, otherwise it will create an alarm. Okay, why this person is opening the door for more than 13 seconds, 20 seconds. Okay, then you can assign which all groups you can access. You can have as many groups, but at a time, for one user, 7 groups you can select. Okay, next. Other detailed information you can enter. These are all optional: gender, nationality, email address. You can take his fingerprint if you have fingerprint reader. We have a separate scanner for this fingerprint scanner. We have a separate scanner for the card. You can use a card scanner. I will show you later on. Then we have custom field, where if any of the field is not there, you can make your own field. Maybe his birthday, maybe his Emirates ID is already there. But if some other details you want, visa expiry or something like that, you can also create your own extra field. IO linking, you can link an input to an output. So if any input has been triggered, maybe someone, maybe there are doors without lock, without a reader. Okay, like staircase door. If someone is opening the staircase door, emergency exit, you cannot lock it. So if someone is opening the emergency exit, you need an alarm. You can create a sounder, you can create a light, you can, what you require, you can do it. Or they have to press a button to open that door. So you can put a push button and link to the output. So IO linking allows you to link an input to an output within the controller. Okay, so next is meal counting. There is also a counter application running. If at all, let's say you're giving away free, let's say free pantry, free coffee, or photocopy machine, you want to track how many people are using, you can allow the card reader, you can attach a card reader, and every time before they use, they have to swipe it. So you know how many times it was used. So it's a counter basically, it just keeps counting. Time scheduling, simply you can schedule when the doors can open, when it should be closed. Okay, reporting, you can take report of all the card holders, report by doors, report of each door, how many people accessed, report take a report on a person, which all door he accessed, visitor management, audit reports, event reports, how many forced open alarm today, like that you can take multiple reports. Then backup, you can take an automatic backup of your database on a scheduled basis every day or every week, and you can save it on a remote location. You can save your database for up to 1 year. By default, it is 3 months. You can edit this file. Then you can create multiple user accounts. Main user will have access to the entire configuration. Second user can have access to only the monitoring interface to see door opening, door closing, unlocking the door. Third user can have only access to visitor management. So maybe the reception desk, you can install the visitor management application and he can issue visitor cards only. He cannot create a door, he cannot add a card, he cannot unlock, he cannot do that, just to issue visitor cards. So that level of users available. Then yeah, you can import user name and second name, first name by Excel sheet also. That is also quick. You can integrate this access control with our VMS. Our VMS is called SSM VMS, Smart Security Manager. You can integrate for free. Once you integrate in the SSM, you can get a pop-up for any event from access control. Access granted or denied, you can choose, you can customize which event you want pop-up, which camera to pop up, how many pop-ups you want. You can do that. You can have one single map for doors and cameras. You can unlock the door from the SSM. So you can see the status of the door open, door close status. The door icon will change color, will show open or close. So you can have this. Then built-in badging application is also there within the software. Okay, next is the client interface. On the client, we have option to make a bulk setting. If for some reason during fire all the door open, so you don't have to close one by one. You can select all and lock all the doors after the fire incident is handled. Okay, so then okay, then we'll go to the configuration type. Okay, there are two main ways of designing your access control system: centralized or distributed. Centralized or distributed. Okay, central means we will have one central controller. Every other controller under that will be a subcontroller. Okay, then the door, and the reader will be connected to the subcontroller. All right. In distributed, the controller itself will directly, or the main controller itself will be connected directly with the reader and the door. Okay, so the difference between them, the centralized controller, only the central controller, sorry, in the centralized option, the central controller will not speak to the doors. The central controller only will speak to the sub controller. The sub will speak to the doors. Okay, and in distributed, the central controller or the master controller itself will directly speak to the door. Okay, now what is the other difference? The central master controller will have the Ethernet connection. This network port will be available to speak to the database, to update the database. Okay, these are the events, all that. In distributed, again, each controller will directly speak to the database. Okay, in the centralized, only the central controller will speak to the database. The remaining will speak to the central controller. Okay, so if there is any disconnection, then yeah, of course, it will not be able to speak. For example, if this point is disconnected, then this controller is out of the network. If this point is disconnected, then this controller is out of the network. Okay, so this is the challenge of, so if there is one more controller here, so once this wire is disconnected, every other controller cannot speak to the master controller because the wire was disconnected. Okay, it's not something that happens often, but it is the design. In distributed, if one controller is off, no issue. Every door will have directly connected to the controller. So only these doors will be affected. The remaining will continue to work. So that is the benefit of using a distributed. Okay, so you get the idea. So centralized means only the central controller will have the capacity to speak to the database and the capacity to decide which door to open. So this is the central brain. This guy will decide for the subcontrollers when someone is swiping the card whether to open or close. So every time you swipe the card, the reader board will check with the sub main controller and then decide and then open the door. Okay, so it is always communicating with the brain of the system, that is the central controller. Okay, how many subcontrollers we will see in the next slide. Okay, then the readers will speak only to the subcontroller, not to the main controller. Whereas in distributed, the benefit is every reader directly connected to the controller. So if anything happens, only these door will be affected, other doors are not affected. Whereas in centralized, if the loop is disconnected, then this entire, not the loop, this line of doors will not be working. Okay, next, how many subcontrollers you can connect? For one master controller, you can connect up to 32 subcontrollers. 32, 32, okay? So, and each of the three, I mean 32 will have connection support for up to, so subcontroller. Let's go back to the main controller once again. The main controller model number is called X100, sorry, X1000. So you can see here, let me pull out this slide. Okay, so this is the main master controller, and actually, yeah, okay, this is the main master controller. You will see Ethernet port. So this guy speaks to the database. Then you will see IO module. IO module, this is the RS485 connection for the loop. So if you go back here, this is RS485. So from the main controller, you can take a line and connect multiple subcontrollers. You can take up to two lines. Port 1, port 2. You can take two lines. One here, maybe one floor down. I mean, one will be going to the bottom floor, one will go to the top floors. Okay. Then what else? You have power option. You have battery fail, access, tamper input, power supply fail detection, and so on. Done. Okay. So this is your centralized control, subcontroller. Okay, subcontroller. The subcontroller is called X100. 10 is missing. Okay, the main controller is called X1000. The subcontroller is called X100. The whole controller name is called Aero controllers. AERO, Aero, Aero. Okay, so X100 two reader subcontroller. That means you can have one reader here and one reader to the right. So if you have a door and there is one reader to enter and a push button for leaving, you can have one door for each side. So you can have door 1, door 2. So entrance door, and maybe this is some office door inside, meeting door or anything. Okay, so you can control two doors. But if your door has a reader to go inside and then again a reader to leave, so you have to swipe the reader again to leave. In that case, one entire board will be used for single door, reader in and reader out. Okay. Now there is no Ethernet port because this is a subcontroller. Only RS485 is here. So incoming and then outgoing to the next board. So it comes in, goes out, then goes into the next board, comes out, and so on. So it just keeps on going. Okay, so you can go up to 32, 32. Whatever is needed for a door is available. You have a reader connection, you have a door contact, push button, then you have the first relay you can use for lock. Okay, now this is centralized option. What about distributed? If you use distributed mode, Okay, the controller name is the actually same. So if you see in distributed mode, the controller name is the same. So what is the meaning? The same controller you can use as a centralized mode, the same controller you can use as distributed mode. Is it clear? The same controller you can use as centralized, the same controller you can use as distributed. So if you're using it as distributed, that's why when you see the drawing, there is reader connection here, door input, push button, lock. It is available in the main controller again, but if you're using distributed, you should not use this. Okay. Sorry, if you're using centralized, you should not use this reader port. Okay, if you're using as distributed, then directly you can connect the reader, one door, and you can connect another door here. So you have two doors. Okay, two readers, two doors. Okay, let me take you through an example. Let's say you have a project with 100 doors and 100 reader. That means in order to open the door, you have to swipe the card. Okay, and when you're leaving, there is no reader. There's just push button. You press a button and the door will open when you leave. So when you have 100 doors, 100 readers, first remember each master controller can handle up to 32 subcontroller. Then each subcontroller can handle up to 2 readers. Only focus on the vegan for now. We will see the OSTP and that later on. Okay, supports 2 readers in vegan. So let's say you have 100 readers. Why is it 2 readers? I believe you remember the picture. This one, reader 1, reader 2. Okay, you have reader 1, reader 2. So 2 readers you can connect. And there is a door contact, push button, whatever is required for the door is also there. Okay, so let's go back to the example. If you have 100 doors, 100 readers, 100 divided by 2, because each subcontroller can handle 2 readers. So how many subcontroller you need? 50. Okay, and master controller, how many subcontroller can handle each? 32. So how many master controller required? 2. Okay, then this project, depending on the number of doors, you have to buy the license. The license is actually free for, if you have a small project, it is actually free. Let's say you have only 5 doors, it is free. But if you have more than that, 100 doors, you have to buy, there are 3 options, 32, 256 and unlimited. If you have 100 doors, you must buy 256. You should not be looking for 32 plus 32 plus 32. That is not how it will be. You have to either go with 256. If you have 257 doors, directly go to unlimited. The price difference is not much. It's very less. So you have to use the license on the number directly. No need to add. If you have 33 doors, go with 256. If you have 257 doors, go with unlimited. Simple. If you have 5 doors, use the free version. You don't have to license it. You can directly use with all the features, with the integration, everything included without any cost. The software is free. Okay. So here it is. Master controller X100. So RS485, it goes to the first controller, second controller, third controller, and so on. So this is how it works. And you can take another loop and you can do multiple controllers. So total 2 loops you can take and up to 32 subcontrollers per master controller. Okay. If you're using distributed, every master controller will speak to two readers, one to the left, one to the right, directly. Okay, so let's take the example again with distributed. So if you're using distributed design, you have 100 doors, 100 readers. Very simple. Directly you're going to connect to the master control. Each master controller supports two readers. Okay. So master controller was two readers by two. So 50 master controller required. Since you have 100 doors, you buy 256 door license. Okay. And then what else? For the access control, in order to install, you will buy one PC. You can buy one PC to install the access control software. You can buy with Windows 10 or Windows operating server operating system. It is okay. It will be working with both. You can buy an i7 8 GB or 16 GB RAM PC. Simple. Okay. All right. So next is there are input and output boards. Input boards, this one, 16 digital input board, which means the board has got 16 inputs. Okay, only input. So let's say you're monitoring the door. I have all the staircase. I'm just monitoring the status of the door, whether it is open or closed. So you don't have to buy the subcontroller. It has only four inputs. What you'll do with only four inputs? Not enough, right? So you can buy a board which has only inputs, and if you're monitoring doors which do not have any kind of reader, you can just monitor the staircase doors. You can buy this input board and monitor up to 16 doors. Okay. Yes, only for door monitoring you can use. You can also use for other purpose. For example, so if you have the, let me go back to normal mode. This is the access control software. So let's say that input point, let's say this input, you can you can change the input as door contact. You can consider input as fire sensor, a normal input, or a brake glass, or panic button, or bond sensor. So you can give any name to that input. Okay. If you use door contact, so it's a door contact only input. So you can customize this. Next is output. So let's say if you want to have a lift and you want to control every floor. Let's say I have access and there are 20 floors and I can access only the 20th floor. The other floor should be locked. That means you want to control every floor. So when I swipe the card, I have to control 20 relays, 20 floors. So in that case, if you use just a reader board has only two relays, not enough. Okay, these are only two relays on each side, total four, not enough. But you have to control every time you swipe 20 relays. So there you can buy output board and you can control a lift with this. So if you have two lift, each 20 floor, you need 40 outputs. So 40 divided by 12, four boards you require. Okay. Only generally used for lift, otherwise we don't see much use of output board. Okay, then there are readers. There are two types of reader available. Standard reader, again standard reader is called the vegan reader. This is vegan. um, this is sorry, the model number is R10 Express. This is vegan. What is vegan? The protocol to speak controller to the reader, that protocol is vegan protocol. There is another protocol called OSDP. OSDP means it's a more secure protocol. Okay. What is the benefit of this? here in weekend, from one side of the controller, only one reader you can connect. But if you use OSDP protocol, you can control from one side up to two readers. Okay, so what's the benefit? If I have a door, okay, we will see the benefit as an example. So basically, if you use OSDP, you can control four readers. Okay, so but two door only maximum. Okay, you cannot control four doors. That is not possible. Total is two door only. But each door can have two readers. That's about it. Okay, so why? Because if you see the board, you have only one input, door input. You have only uh, door contact and push button. Only two inputs are available, right? So here, one door contact and push button. Okay, so you have door contact and push button. You cannot make two doors here. You cannot, how you, we cannot detect two door whether it is open or closed. So even if you use OSDP, even if you use OSDP, the only benefit is if your door is having in and out, only one door, but you have two readers. To enter reader, to exit also you have to swipe the card. But if you use that kind of doors, in and out reader, card in, card out, then OSDP is more beneficial because you can control two doors but total four readers. Okay, door one in and out, door two in and out. However, if you use weekend and you have a door with a card reader in and card reader out, then one board will be used for one door. Left side one in card in, and then the right side card out. So OSDP, two things. One, you can loop two card readers, but whatever you do, maximum per board is two door only. Okay, left is door one, right is door two. That's it. OSDP also you can basically loop as well as yeah. Next condition is in order to use OSDP, the reader should support OSDP. So there is separate type of readers called OSDP compatible or capable readers. Okay, so you have to use those readers only. Okay, that's it. So the Sino readers are available. Thin mount, wide mount with keyboard with keypad. Okay, and by default, all of them are I-class with this HID technology. There is additional option if you want. You can add Bluetooth, so you can have a Bluetooth card, uh, virtual card. If you want, you can add MyFair. If you want to use MyFair card, if you want to use proximity, you can use proximity card. If you want to buy the reader from your side, you can buy the reader from your side. No issue. Buy the reader and card from your supplier, some other supplier. No issue. It's up to you. Okay. So the Bluetooth option is like here. Where is it? Second. Okay, I think it's not mentioned. Okay, we'll come to that. So basically, this same card reader, you can ask for BLE. BLE means Bluetooth. Okay, so you can, in that case, you have to buy, you will not be buying normal cards, you will buy mobile cards, mobile ID cards. Okay, you will buy the card reader for sure, but instead of buying cards, you'll buy mobile ID. So that is a virtual card stored in your mobile phone. So you swipe your mobile phone and the door will open. Okay. Then we have fingerprint card readers. Fingerprint card readers are two technology. Card you can swipe, so it can detect the card directly, and you have fingerprint. Okay. Then we also supply enclosure box to put the controllers inside. Okay. Each enclosure box can handle up to two boards, any two boards, input, output, both input, both reader, both controller, no problem. Up to two boards you can put inside. There is a power supply within the control within this enclosure. It can power the lock, it can power the controller, and so on. You have a place to put the battery also. It has a built-in tamper switch, so if someone is opening the enclosure, you will get an alarm. Okay. Okay. Now let's see in OSDP how to design the same project, 100 doors, 100 readers, but you're using OSDP. Okay, so each controller supports 32 subcontroller. Each subcontroller supports 4 readers. Okay, but 2 doors only. So whichever comes first. So if you divide 100 doors by 2, you need 50 subcontroller. If you divide 100 by 4, you need 25. But that will not work. Maximum is 2 doors. So you have to take the highest. So 100 by 2 is 50. So you need 50 subcontrollers, 2 door subcontroller. And how many master controller? 32, 2. So there is no difference between uh, OSDP and Weekend if you are using only one door, one card reader per door. There is no big difference. So just it's up to you to buy an expensive reader or a standard reader. Okay. However, if you use, for example, 30 doors but 60 reader, how is it 30 door 60 reader? So that means card in, card out. You have to show your card when you're leaving, show your card when you're entering. Both way you have to swipe the card. So there are two readers, one inside the office, one outside the office. So 30 doors, 60 readers. In this case, if you use the vegan method, okay, maximum two readers per subcontroller, so 30 subcontroller required. However, if you use OSDP, okay, it supports two doors or four readers. Okay, so if you divide 30 by 2 door, 15. If you divide 60 by 4 readers, 15. So you need only 15 boards. So roughly, if you use a door with two readers, for OSDP, you need only half the quantity of boards. Whereas in vegan, you need 30. In OSDP, you need only 15. Okay, half the quantity. So you see the big difference. So when you have two readers per door, OSDP is more beneficial. Okay, then rest is same. Sorry, so you need a subcontroller. You have done. Now master controller. Let's do the vegan method. 30 by 32, 1. How many doors you have? 30 door. So 32 door license. Okay. Now I have 30 doors, 60 readers. OSDP. So OSDP means 4 readers per subcontroller. 60 by 4, 15. Master controller up to 32, 1. So how many doors I have? 30. So I buy 32 door license. What is the PC spec? Buy one PC i7 8 GB or 60 GB RAM with Windows 10 or 11 or Windows Server operating system. You can use. So it's compatible with all Windows. Okay. Then uh, okay. Let's say you have a project with 100 doors, 100 readers, and you have one near the guardhouse gate barrier. So in that time, you can mix and match. You can make a centralized system for the 100 or 100 reader and one distributed reader directly. So master controller, subcontroller. So you can do, let's say for the inside the building, you will do centralized, which means 100 reader divided by 2, 50 subcontroller, 50 by 32, 2 master controller. Then for the guardhouse, I don't have to pull the cable again. I will just buy another master controller directly and connect the reader for the gate barrier. Simple. So your design can have a mix of both. Okay, so you got it. So that's how you design your access control system. So I'll do one more example. We'll take a break now and then we'll catch up. And after that, we will do example as well as intercom system. Let's take a short break. Okay, let's continue. Um, just a second. All right. So I have an example project for 50 tours. Okay, right. And then the customer also has 50 readers. Okay. So what is the meaning of this 50 doors, 50 readers? When you swipe the card, you get to access door. When you want to leave, you have to use a push button to leave. Okay, it's called REX, request to exit, push button. Done. Okay, so in this scenario, I have, let's say, I am going with centralized method. Centralized method X100 is the master controller and subcontroller X100. Okay, each of this can handle up to 32 subcontroller, and each of the subcontroller can handle up to two readers. Now let's assume this readers we are going with the most common used Wiegand protocol. Okay, so here based on 50 readers, I have to kind of find out how many subcontrollers required. SC is equal to 50 divided by 2, so I need 25 subcontrollers. Master controller is equal to 25 by 32, so that is one master controller. Since I have 50 doors, I will buy 256 door license and then buy a PC to install all the access applications. Okay, what are the application? Manager application, client application, then it will also install the visitor management application. You can choose to install in different PC. It is up to you. You can install everything in one PC also. Okay, i7 8 GB RAM is sufficient, and Windows 10, Windows Server operating system is okay. Okay, now where do you find information about this particular data? You have to go to our website hanwa-security.com. So when you go to our website, Hanwa Security, go to the main global website. Okay, if it is going to Korean language, you can click on the region and change to English. Okay, so after that go to products, access control. Under access control, you can find the controller information. Okay, let's start with the controller. Here we have, this is called a hybrid controller because you can use it as centralized or distributed mode. We have expansion module, reader module, input module, output module. Rest everything is discontinued, but they are also our product. And next is controller. Then let's see the readers. You have the Sino readers, BioEntry reader, standard R10 reader. BioMini is fingerprint scanner. If you have a normal card scanner, you can use this. And that's it. Okay, next is cards, I-class COS cards. Okay, then we have software, management software. Let's see that. Under the software, you can download each of this product. You can click and download the datasheet, the manual, and for the software also you can download the datasheet and manual, administration manual, client manual. You can download this data. Okay, so here we go. Internet here is a bit slow, so once it loads, you can go for it. So let me do the English software manuals, and yeah, you can download. Next is peripherals. So let's see what is peripheral. That's where you'll find. Let me go to access control peripherals. You will find the enclosure box. Okay, the power package. You can download this for if you need data sheet of that. Okay, then any questions up to this point? All right, so after If not, let's go to the one more example. Okay, the same one. Let's say distributed method. In distributed method, directly I'm going to connect with the controller. So 50 divided by each will be 2. Each controller board can handle 2. That is 25. So I need 25 master controller, the 256 door license, and that's it. If I have a lift with 30 floors, okay, so I have two lifts. So in this case, I want to control every floor individually. Then I have to buy X300 output board, 12 outputs supported. So total outputs required 30 into 30 floors into 2 lifts, that is equal to 60 outputs. So X300 output board quantity will be 60 divided by 12. I need 5 boards. Okay. So then if you have door monitor contacts, only doors you want to monitor, and there are like 40 doors. So you'll buy X200 input board, 16 inputs. So 40 divided by 16, you need 3 boards. Okay, so in this project, total boards is equal to 3 input board plus 5 output board plus 25. Okay, let's say you're using this subcontroller concept. Then plus 25 uh, normal reader boards. So 25 plus 5 plus 3. Now it is 33. So how many master controller you need? Master controller is equal to 2 because 32 divided by 33 divided by 32. So you need 2 master controllers. Done. Okay. Next is um wiring, wiring. Okay, if you want to know the wiring details, you have to. I'll be sending you a link, by the way. In the link, you can download the manual where you can see the wiring information. Let's see. Okay, so controller, subcontroller, RS485 1.2 kilometer, weekend 150, then push button 150 meters, door lock up to 150 meters you can use. Then the main controller to the network port up to 100 meters. Power supply to the both the controller requires power supply. Okay, that's it. Next is intercom. Let's have a look at the intercom system. Network intercom, Wisenet network intercom. Okay, so this is an extension of CCTV system. So if you want to have a help point, if you want someone at the gate barrier to make a call, or if you want someone at any location to make a video call to the CCTV system or to the IP telephone, you can use our network intercom. The benefit is this one is a wide lens, it has built-in IR, it has got SIP support, it is touchless, it is a good operating temperature, it supports external power or PoE, and it is integrated with our VMS. So even from the VMS, the operator can put a headphone and speak to the intercom. Okay, so here we go. So the person can call, it can go to one telephone or multiple telephones, or he can use a touchless call, and he can also make the call to the VMS software. Okay, so the audio level is good enough to handle a noisy background. So daytime, nighttime, it will work perfectly fine because it has IR. So any lighting condition, it is suitable. it at the back there is also an alarm output to open the door. So let's say if you want to release a door, after you check the video, you know who the person is, you can release the door from the telephone or from the VMS. Both location you can check the door. So it has a relay output. You can loop the power through the intercom or you can use it as only relay. So there are two ways to do it. Okay, so if you use external power supply for the intercom, you can power the lock also through the intercom. Okay, that is an option. Next, there are color of the LEDs. There are different colors. That's okay. Then you can make the call to the VMS or to the telephone. From the telephone, you can swipe or type a number and the door will unlock. Okay, so you can make, if you have PBX server and you can address to a specific telephone, each intercom you can address to a specific IP telephone. So here is a video. So you can initiate the call and the operator can pick up the call, can speak to the person, and then he can put the code and the door will unlock. You can also get the unlock function from the VMS. You will get a pop-up. Call is initiated. You can connect a headphone. You can speak, and you can unlock the door. Comes in two color options. Basically, it is black or grayish black, and you can put your cover, skin cover to make white. This looks big here, but it's actually very small unit, and you can also have flush mount option. Because it is a built-in camera, you have analytics. You can use the analytics to trigger a call, and the tested IP telephones are Cisco and Grandstream and other brands. We will also be trying to integrate with Milestone and Genetech as well. In the future, we will also have a keypad option. At the moment, it is call button only. All right, so that's about it for the intercom system. And some of the recent project was there was a remote stations. There are 22,000 sites with the remote stations. They wanted to install intercom system to check centrally from the central control room. They will check and open the door. So there are some projects like that, and we have projects with I mean, you can also use our PoE extender camera. We have a camera which can power another PoE device. The first camera will take PoE plus, and there is a loop out, and it will power another PoE device. You can power any device, IP, telephone, intercom. So you can power the intercom. So let's say you don't have a cable, you can use the existing cable to the camera and power the intercom also. And how does it work? You can give two IP addresses, it works fine, no issues. Okay, so yeah, that's about it for the intercom system. It's a very simple product, just a single product. It works with our VMS directly. So you have to use our SSM VMS at the moment, or you can use IP telephone to integrate. And built-in camera, built-in analytics, built-in speaker, built-in mic, built-in touchless sensor, relay contact, SIP support, and analytics. So we saw IR also for nighttime viewing. And it has a fisheye lens, so you can get a very good view up, down, different height of the person. It will work just fine. Okay. So any further questions, let me know. Otherwise, the session is completed. We can disconnect, and you can expect a email from me with the link for the exam.